About 15 years ago, we planted some pecan trees that Sister Rita's dad had gave us. Now, some of you say pecan, but in Oklahoma, everyone says pecan. At the time of this devotion, the tallest one of these trees are still under 10 feet. Someone who don't know very much about pecan trees might say, "Looks like these trees are not going to amount to very much." But it's no surprise to me that they aren't real tall at this age because my parents planted some pecan trees when I was a very young boy. After several years, it looked like to me that we might as well take them out of the yard. What I wasn't thinking about was these trees grow a healthy, sturdy root system before they grow tall. Today, my parents' trees are big, mature trees. So I'm sure the trees Brother Richie gave us is very much at work growing their root system before they grow tall. Let's read in Colossians, the 2nd chapter, verses 6 and 7. It says, "As ye have therefore received Christ Jesus the Lord, so walk ye in him, rooted and built up in him, and established in the faith, as ye have been taught, abounding therein with thanksgiving." Notice in verse 7, Paul said we are rooted, built up in him, and established in faith. We, God's people, have been planted in Christ Jesus. After being planted into the Lord, we need to grow our roots down into the knowledge of His Word. It takes time and effort for a Christian to get deeply rooted in the Word and the ways of God. Daily we need to read our Bible, make time to pray, and talk to our Lord. Isaiah 61:3 talks about us being called trees of righteousness. Trees of righteousness bear fruit, the fruit of the Spirit. Let me say right here, in reference to our pecan trees in Oklahoma that haven't reached maturity, we need to remember to have patience with young Christians as they are getting established in the Lord. Some natural trees grow faster than others, as some Christians will grow faster than others. Let's pray for them as they grow in the Lord and they learn how to trust Him. Jeremiah, the 17th chapter, verses 7 and 8 says, "Blessed is the man that trusteth in the Lord, and whose hope the Lord is." Verse 8 says, "For he shall be as a tree planted by the waters, and that spreadeth out her roots by the river, and shall not see when heat cometh, but her leaf shall be green, and shall not be careful in the year of drought, neither shall cease from yielding fruit." I've seen the saints of God go through very tough times, but they have been as the tree planted by the river. Their spiritual tree was deeply rooted in the word of the Lord and in His faithfulness. Their roots went down and also spread out to draw in the living water. These saints in their times of affliction and winds of adversity have been able to encourage others. We were in the state of Florida one time in the early part of the year, about February. We were invited to eat lunch with a family. After we got there, I noticed a lot of 5-gallon buckets of pecans on their porch. They told us that a severe hurricane had hit that area the year before and really gave these trees a good shaking. They also told us that these trees had never done this good. They said something about the violent shaking of the stormy winds must have woke these trees up. Child of God, you might be in the storm of your life right now. The winds of adversity are shaking and blowing the limbs of your spiritual tree. But let me tell you, it's going to be okay. God is in your storm. Over time, trees get dead limbs that need to be removed. This wind, this storm is going to make you better. This storm won't last forever. The sun will shine again, as it did for those pecan trees. They produce what I call a bumper crop. People will be blessed after you come through your storm. Those trees had a good testimony after the storm was over. They were still standing, and they just produced a bumper crop. And the only reason these trees survived the storm and produced such an amazing crop is because they were rooted and anchored. Their roots had to be deep and wide to hold them up in their time of testing. It will be the same for you, brother and sister. You will continue to stay rooted in God's Word, and it will keep you no matter what comes your way. Your testimony and your faith will be an encouragement to others. God bless you. Well, hello, everyone. As many of you know, what I've been facing recently. When that devotion was recorded, I had no clue that I'd be facing the C word, but the Lord has been so faithful. And the surgery was May the 23rd, and a week later we went back to the doctor and did a follow-up, and he said, your lymph node area is clear. He said the surgery, he said, it just went great. And he said there was a little spot or two right there on the area where they reattached. He said, we'll keep a check on. He said, he said, I'm not worried about it. He said, we'll do a follow-up in July and just make sure, everything's still doing great. Before I had received the news that I had this situation going on, dear sister contacted my daughter, Sandy, and said, I had a dream, and I don't really know how to tell y'all this, but it was about you folks are standing on a seashore, and a big, huge wave come in and just said it was the biggest wave I had ever seen come in and just covered y'all up. And after some time, the wave went back out, and y'all was standing there unharmed, and they said the sunshine just broke out of the clouds and it was just shining right down on you all. And when Sandy told us about what the sister had dreamed, we took that seriously, that the Lord was telling us what was ahead. And I'm telling you, it is definitely the big wave came in, but we're doing wonderful. I just feel like, and I told the family, Sister Rita, that I feel like we're in a new beginning. I just feel great things is ahead. God has been faithful. I was believing the Lord. It's His will I wouldn't have to have surgery. But I told the Lord, I said, Lord, you've been so faithful to me, and I trust you. Even if I need to have surgery, Lord, if it's to be able to help someone and let them know that even if they have to go to that extent, God will be faithful. I was willing. I said, Lord, you've been faithful to me, and I trust you. Whatever you see needs to happen. So here we are at other sides of surgery, doing wonderful. I feel the closeness of the Lord. I'm just excited about what's ahead for God's work, and we just want to continue to lift the Lord up. Oh, He's been faithful. And to all of you that has sent us cards and letters and help, thank you so much. We appreciate that. Lord bless you. Your prayers. If you put in a prayer request for me or whatever, Lord bless you. We just love each and every one of you.